Chillin', get high.
Shit crazy. Smoke to get my mind right. Chillin'. Trying to get my grind right. Fight for.
Oh, what's up, guys? Sergeant G from the Stone Vet USMC. Happy Friday, guys. Take two. I got a bad habit of doing this shit where I don't hit the damn record button. And I know we get going good. I mean, we were sitting here talking for a minute. I had to look up and I was like, I didn't hit fucking record, guys. I don't believe this bullshit. I gotta do this all over again, man. I gotta take time.
Listen, it's Friday.
Guests. It's Friday. You know, we're hanging out. We're enjoying the time. I got the patio furniture in. I'm sitting over here relaxing, enjoying. I wish I had the grill going, but I had to get rid of my grill because, like I said, I'm selling my house, and my grill was old as shit and just falling apart. I'm always like, get rid of it. Just get it out of here so we can make sure we get
perfect time to upgrade.
Perfect time to upgrade, right? I've been checking them out. I've been getting them. Been going out looking every time we go out somewhere. You know, whether it's Walmart or Lowe's or wherever the hell we go. I take a chance to go look at it. You know, I can't get a smoker because the wife don't like smokers, and so she don't like smoked food. And I was like, fuck, all right, well. So I try to find me a nice grill. You know, and it's tough. It's tough. It sucks. And I was like, the weather's getting nice and I can't even go outside and grill no more, man. I said, this sucks, dude. This sucks, you know? And so it's Friday. If you guys are sorry like me, you guys only work Monday through Friday. It's fine the weekend. A lot of you guys who are entrepreneurs and are still working, you work 7 days a week. You guys, you'll never have a day off. I know. My wife tells me all the time. She's like, I never have a day off. I say, I can't help you, sweetheart. You wanted to start your own business. And this is just what happens when you start your own business, you know?
That's it.
You know, I got the luxury of bringing on Gunny here. Gunny is the man who is creating Born in a Bar, the untold story of Uncle Sam's misguided children, dude. It's the stories, dude. Like, you know what it was like when you were serving. You remember all them fucking cool ass stories when you were sitting on the chairs around the grill, shooting the shit after a long week and having a couple of drinks. Reminiscing about them good times when you was in Okinawa or in the Philippines. Hell, maybe even Thailand. You can remember some of the stories when you was out in Thailand, man. I got Gunny here. How you doing, Gunny? I appreciate you coming on the show today.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, for your people who are listening now, what you just missed out on was about 20 minutes of us talking about Mother's Day and Father's Day. And I'm not really sure if we can do that. So it's probably a good thing that it got deleted because we might offend someone.
We might have offended somebody.
I'm not sure who, you know, Caitlyn Jenner. I'm not really sure if she celebrates Mother's Day or Father's Day or how that works out.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, think about it. That's a genius move right there. You know, like you're like, you know, I could really use another holiday to get a gift. So that could work out.
I think I could get both, right? Can't I get both? You know, I don't think we can get us too offensive, though. I mean, if you ever went over to Broken Podcast and listened to Shane and Nick over there, dude, the motherfuckers get some offensive crap going. You'd be like, oh, if they can talk that, we can talk a little bit of smack, can't we?
You know, I'm actually surprised when I listen to some of the podcasts that I don't hear like a disclaimer when they're bringing on a Marine as a guest, or they're both Marines. In that case, you know, like, hey, this is not the podcast to listen to when you're driving your kids to preschool.
No,
not
right, absolutely. And we may need to get together, you know, myself, you know, the Broken Podcast and over at the Basic Vet. I may get Shane to make us a disclaimer. So whenever we put on the show, we'll be like, this is not suited for anybody younger than 20. Nobody younger than 20 years old should be listening to this show, you know?
Or, you know, or the National Guard or Coast Guard. They you know, just, you know, find something else.
Probably need to find something else to listen to, but and we give them all crap. You know what I'm saying? We love all you guys out there. Like I tell people, I say, I don't care what branch you serve. We all signed that damn dotted line and devoted our life to the government and said, I got you 6, you know, even if you're the Coast Guard or the Space Force. I want to know how that works now with the space. Is it the Air Force recruiting Space Force now, or is it?
It is, yeah. So they have a dual mission right now, at least until, you know, they figure something else out. But the Air Force went to this total force recruiting where the Air Force recruiters are now recruiting for like the Air Force Reserves. They're doing the Space Force. They're doing all that because they were separate at one time. Or actually, I mean, I guess the reserves are still separate right now, but they are moving to try and save some money by combining them all into one.
Right. And so, I mean, it makes sense. It's relevant to have the Air Force doing the Space Force crap. But when it comes down to it, it's like, are they going to have reserves, Space Force reserves as well? I don't know.
They don't know.
don't.
They make this shit up as they go anyway. So
They shoot from
it doesn't really
And
matter.
the Air Force is the worst. You work for the Air Force yourself. And so you understand, you're like, you guys don't give a damn about anything. You guys make your own rules as you're going along. You guys don't, and even if the rules are there, you don't even care about them. You just do your own thing. You don't even care. You're like, whatever. It'll be all right.
A couple of years ago, when the Air Force was really trying to recruit what they call their battlefield airmen, they were really trying to push for it. And my squadron came to me and they were like, listen, we're trying to recruit these kids who are joining the Marines. How do we do that? And I said, number one, if a kid's coming into the office and they say they want to join the Marines, there's nothing you're going to say to them to change their mind. They're joining the Marines.
Right.
Okay. Well, what about the kids who are unsure? So, okay, well, there's a lot you can do. I said, but it's so difficult to really, change that mindset. So, one of the problems we have the Air Force is every time there's a new general, they change shit. Right? Their motto has gone from aim high to aim high, fight, win to aim high, let's fight, let's all get together and have a barbecue. Every year it's something different. They just change. I don't even know what it is. They just changed it again.
Yeah, it's something for the Space Force now. Yeah, it's like something for the Space Force now that they put in there. It's like Semper something. And I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers trying to take Semper Fi, huh?
Yeah. They're always trying to.
So somebody's always trying to take our words. Or I said, look, guys. I said the Army, they change their motto every freaking 4 years. They're just like the Air Force. They change their motto constantly because they can't stick to anything, dude. They just can't have anything that works. I said, so that's the thing about the Marine Corps is that, dude, our motto has never changed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's simplify, That's what we do, the few, the proud, the Marines. It's never changed. It's been that way for hundreds of years,
Absolutely.
And so it's you can see it though when a lot of these branches are like, oh, let's do this to our motto, and you're like, that's Semper. You're taking Semper. You can't take Semper. Like now you're trying to look at the freaking Marine Corps. You can't just take it and say we're going to run with this. Mm-hmm. It's just the silly things that come with it. And I know a couple episodes ago I was talking about. I said they've been trying to get the government has been trying to get rid of the Marine Corps for decades. Like they just want to get rid of the Marine Corps because they're like, oh well, we're the smallest branch. Hell, we're Department of the Navy. They're like, you're not even your own damn branch. You're just Department of the Navy, and you're just like, all right, we'll give you that, whatever, But I said, can't nobody pack up and ship out as fast as we can when something happens? You know what I'm saying? We're America's 911.
Right. We're the break in case of emergency.
Right. Exactly.
That's what it is. I mean, everybody else, they're so, especially the Air Force, they're so commercialized. I mean, they run like a company.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's kind of part of their problem. I mean, when I walked into our squadron, I said, we tangled a lot on stupidity of things, and they couldn't see, like, when I would say something, they were like, well, why do you think that way? Why do I think that way? Because like, I'm going to point out when there's stupidity, and this is like the stupidest thing that you could possibly do. Well, you're not thinking about this, in the strategic. What? Like, that's the second stupidest thing I've heard today. So they're fun to work with, though.
Because a lot of times, I get the same looks like, why do you think like that? I said, well, how do you want to think about it? Do you want to think it from a corporate standpoint? And you're probably right. I don't know shit about corporations. I've never ran a corporation. I can tell you how to do it the right way. This is going to be the right way. You want the mission done right? This is how you're going to do it. Are you slacking somewhere? This is why you're slacking. Mm-hmm. Let me show you. But if you don't like what I got to tell you, you probably need to talk to somebody else then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the same looks you get. Like, why do you think that way? Well, because the Marine Corps has been my daddy for fucking ever, and that's what they taught me how to do it. They taught me the right way to do it is what they did, And my wife hates it. She's like, I hate you fucking Marines. I hate all of you guys. So you guys are some of the cockiest SOBs. I said, we're not cocky, sweetheart. We're not cocky. We confident. We know what we talking about. We know what we're saying. We're confident in who we are. She's like, shut the hell up. I don't want to hear it. All right,
See,
so-
my wife met me after I had already left the reserves for the second time, and I'm kind of glad she didn't know me back then. And even with this book, she said like in most of the stories she's already heard, not like all the details. But she just like I don't know if I want to change my image of you, in reading these stories. That's probably a good idea.
Right, I
do
probably
like
wouldn't
that
read
plan.
this book either. I probably wouldn't read this book either, sweetheart. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't recommend you reading this book either, because some of the stories. Like I said, I read some of your excerpts and stuff. I was like, oh shit, this shit. Like you could relate. Like I could relate to what
Yeah.
you're saying. I'm like, oh shit, I remember that. I remember that kind of
Yeah.
shit happening.
So this book, the way this started, it actually goes back into boot camp. I had a drill instructor who at night would tell these bedtime stories, right? We'd be laying in the rack, lights are out, and he would tell these fucked up, funny ass stories about, one night stands and you would just go to sleep and you'd be like, what the fuck did I just listen to? That's this dude's fucking awesome.
You're like, what the fuck is going on? What did I get myself into?
He told this one story that, he went home with a one night stand, and the next morning he's putting on his boots and he's sitting on these steps, and her two kids are sitting at the kitchen table eating cereal, watching TV. And I'm just like, I'm laughing, right? Like you can imagine, like, oh my God, like, and here I am, I'm 18 years old. This is fucking great. I joined the right service right now. So then, I had gotten out, and I had a regular Navy chick that I used to hook up with while I was single. And she came home. We were both from the same town. And she called me up one night and she wanted to go out. So I went out with her. And now for like the last year, the year prior, we had gone either to my house or her house. She was stationed in right outside Norfolk. But this was the first time we went out and went back to her house. She was getting ready to deploy. And, we were drinking, went back to her house. We're completely trashed at this point, having sex in her bedroom, slammed the door, mirror falls on the ground, smashes, right? We get up in the morning and we walk downstairs, and it just like, you're in this fog and you start realizing stuff. You're kind of looking around and you're like, where the fuck am I right now? And then her mom starts talking from the kitchen, and she's holding up this carton of milk that just like a couple hours ago we were just drinking out of. And she's like, breakfast? And I'm like laughing hysterically, like I'm crying. When I walked out and I called my friend Ski, who I was living with. And I was like, Dave, you're not going to fucking believe this. We laughed for like 3 fucking days, so and it was like that moment that I was like, damn you, Sergeant Davis, you fucking got me. Like, no shit. Like this, I just had the same fucking thing happen to me that you did while I was in boot camp. It was fucking amazing. So then, my best friend from high school, Ski, he ended up joining the Marines as an officer, but we were living together at that time. He went to our field artillery school, and I had just done a lat move over to Fort Observer. So I was at Fort Sill at the same time.
Oh, you was right here. You weren't far from home.
That's listen, I got a good story. Yeah, listen, Dragon West was my home for about 4.5 weeks. The first day I was there, or the first week, we went out to this bar a couple miles outside of Fort Sill. And one of the PFCs that was there, he was just talking to me. I was a corporal at the time, but I drove out there, so I had my truck.
Right.
And, the PFCs, they're going to talk to corporals like you're basically God.
Right. Yeah, them PFCs are like, oh,
and
shit,
he was asking me like, hey, corporal, like what kind of girls are you into? And this girl just happened to walk by, and I was like, hey, like this girl right here. And then I turn around a couple minutes later, and he's talking to her, and they're looking at me, and I'm like, this motherfucker, like I'm going to kill this kid. Like, what is he doing?
He's looking me up.
Yeah. So she walks over, and I'm just, at this point, I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to say right off the bat? Like things are running through my head. Like it's how you doing?
Right.
And, you just don't know. And I'm about to say something. I don't even know what I'm about to say. When she walks up and she just, pulls this like, do you believe in love at first sight, or do I need to walk by again? And as I'm just about to say something, she puts her finger up to my lip. Right. And she says, don't ruin the moment. And she takes my beer and drinks my beer. And I'm just like, what the fuck? This is fucking great.
Did you just drink my beer?
Yeah. So she turns out, we go back the next day, and all the PFCs, they've been there for like a week and a half. You know, they get there before everybody else does before the class starts. So they knew all the strip clubs. They knew, you know, like everything.
Everything. Right.
So and this was like a Thursday night. It was like ladies' night. And so Friday in class, the PFCs are telling the Gunny, who's in charge of the class. And, you know, they all knew that it was a strip club. And they said, you know, don't tell him. Let him figure it out. So we go driving out to this bar thinking it's, you know, a sports bar, Dragon West. No idea. We pull up and it's just a bar, no windows. And the sergeant that was with me kind of made a comment about like, hey, this doesn't look right. And I'm not even paying attention. So I walk in, I open the door and I hear this, you know, the next on stage, Tia from Thailand. And I start laughing. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So it turns out this girl's a stripper. So I spent like the whole month that I was at Fort Sill Artillery School with her. And then when Ski got out there for his artillery officer school, I had to take him out there. Like I had to like, hey Dave,
you had to show him
this is what I've been doing. This is what I've been doing for the last month. And while we were sitting there, we started talking about writing this book. Like, hey, look, you know, you have a knack for writing and we have some fucking great stories. We should write this. And sitting there talking to another stripper, that's kind of where I came up with the title Born in a Bar. Like, it's like perfect. Fucking Marines born in a bar. This is fucking great.
It's like the only branch that was born in a bar. Come on now. You kidding me? Yeah. So
I really started documenting like a lot of did the first week before. And, you know, so I started taking some notes and, you know, kind of went from there. Now this is back in 2000. So it was kind of something that sat with me for quite a while.
Right.
And then with Ski, you know, he ended up going to Camp Lejeune. I was in a reserve unit that was up in Reading, artillery battery, and 9/11 happened. My unit, we had been told right as this happened that our reserve battery was going to be tasked to go and support the main effort. That was fucking great. This is great. I wanted to get back on active duty anyway. Had my shit packed. It was on, you know, the top of my steps. And I'm in just got married for the second time to a reservist. And the same day I get a phone call from our ops Gunny. Hey, we're not going anywhere. We're staying home. Somebody else is going in our place. The same day she gets a letter in the mail activating her to active duty on Camp Lejeune. Now I'm pissed. I fucking kick my gear down the steps. I'm throwing it around. I'm just fucking livid.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah. So I went down to Camp Lejeune with her and met up with Ski, and he was working at 2MEF, SOTG at the Combined Arms Staff Trainer. And I went in there and met Colonel Noble and helped them run one of their classes. Like I showed up just to like, you know, hey, Ski, what's going on, brother? You know, and he was just like, look, if you want to come on active duty, I can get you down here at 2MEF. Fuck yeah, where do I sign? Let's go.
Right, let's go.
So I was on Camp Lejeune from 2003 to 2008. So I was there with him for a little bit, and then he did a lat move to Intel, and then we ended up meeting each other again while we were out in Iraq. I went to Fallujah, and he was in Blue Diamond, but we would talk, all the time. And then when we both got back, I was going through my second divorce, so we started this. We had this, like every other Friday, we would go to Hooters and then we would go to the Driftwood, and then go back to his house and crash there. And it just started like a whole nother chapter. So we've had so many, stories along the way that, it just kind of rolled. And then you look at, now where we are in 2020 with COVID and lockdowns and doing all this thing. I had a very different experience than a lot of people. I was having fun. I loved it. I was ready to quit my job anyway. And It was the break that I needed. Like I was scaring the shit out of my kids. I was videotaping it, putting it on Facebook. I started my own little, not quite a podcast, but like, video. I called it Cooking with Rum, which is me, cooking and smoking and drinking at the same time. And I was having a blast. I just, it was entertainment. It was daily dad jokes and, stupid shit. But we had, I had five friends who committed suicide over that time. They were all military, and that was hard. Like, it's like, man, like, I know this is different for everybody. And one of the Marines I was with, we were talking, and he was like, "Hey, do you remember this story from San Antonio?" Fuck yeah, I remember that story. It's fucking great. And he was, he said something about, I must have at some point on that day, told him about my book, and kind of reminded me of it. And I was like, this is the perfect time. I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start writing this book and see what happens. And it took off, man. I mean, it was like, I shared one story with a select couple friends, and it just took off like fucking wildfire. I had friends, calling me and, "Hey, do you remember this? Do you remember that?" Or like, "Dude, I just read that story and I'm fucking pissing my pants." So it was great. And I was like, this maybe this is really what I want to do. Like, I want to write this book, and include the stories of other people. And, the idea was, if I can get this many people talking about one story, then, maybe it'll help. Maybe it'll help people talk out and reach out to their other friends, to, their other brothers, and reflect on some of the stupid shit that they did while they were in, or laugh. And, my idea is that, this is definitely one of those books that is not, going to be probably, found acceptable by the Marine Corps, like professionalism. But, it may not be the right thing to do, but it's definitely not going to be the wrong thing to do, and in terms of veterans, if we can get them talking like this, I mean, that's, and even if it just is you're talking to your friends about this, and you drive them to another, a podcast, when you find out all these other Marines or military in general, that their story and how close they were to committing suicide, and then they had a conversation with somebody and that changed their mind, man, that's, I mean, even if one person, listens to your podcast, today, and they decide not to kill themselves, man, that's a huge thing. And that's kind of what we all want, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Gunny. I know, I completely understand. This is the whole reason I do the show. So right now, so like I said, I had Lee on my show just a couple weeks, just a week or so ago. And he had, he said, how they say the 22 a day, there's 22 veterans a day. But he said the sad part is those are just the veterans that are going to the VA for help, that are getting VA disabilities and stuff. That's what they're calculating. He said, but you got to figure all the people who don't go to the VA, all the people who aren't registered with the VA, all the people who aren't getting their disability checks and stuff. He said, nobody has the statistics on those guys. And not only that, you also have another 30 veterans a day that are dying from opioid addiction that the VA has given to us. It's like I told, right now I'm the stone vet and I'm not smoking any weed. There's a story behind that. Right now, I have a whole situation going on. I work for the federal government. It's federally illegal and which hopefully, I'm hoping by October, this shit's washed away, right? And so, but my thing is just with what I do is I try to break the stigma of cannabis, saying the medicinal benefits. I mean, just the simple fact that if we're losing 30 veterans a day to an opioid addiction, that the VA will give us any opioid we want. You just go in there and you tell the doctor, "Hey, I need something for this. I need something for that." And they'll prescribe it anywhere from 30 to 100 pills at a time, which is disgusting. So now you're looking at 30 veterans a day from opioid addiction. Then you got the 22 that are statistics that are out there right now. So that's now 52 brothers and sisters that we're losing. All because why? They didn't find their purpose again. That's one of the biggest things I stress is that when we get out of the military, you ain't got Sergeant G. Gunny ain't telling Sergeant G to tell the troops, "Hey, this is what we got coming down the pike. You guys need to be ready. You guys need to wear this uniform of the day. This is what we're going to be working on. This is what time you come to PT. This is what time you get done with PT. This is what time you come to work. This is the equipment we're working on today. This is what we're doing today." They don't have that no more. And Sergeant G ain't getting orders from Gunny saying, "Hey, this is what we're doing today." And it's like, so now it's like, what do I do? Like, I don't have nobody telling me what to do anymore. And it sucks. It was one of the things that I stress about. That's why I do the show. So we can hang out, enjoy ourselves like we did on Fridays. After a long week, we went and got a couple of drinks and we're sitting around the barbecue grill just bullshit because we're reminiscing about the time that the week we've had. Fucking Gunny over here has been hounding my ass all fucking week. And you know what I'm saying? He's been handling my ass all week. I just can't get him off my ass this week. That's just the shit we talk about, the stupid shit we do with. And then some of us reminisce about the stories, like what your book is about, is reminiscing about the stories of the past. It's like we were talking about earlier. You've got jarheads that are in their 80s. These guys that served in Vietnam, World War II. The World War II people are passing away, dude. They're passing away daily now because it was so long ago. But those stories, like what we have when we deployed, whether it was Australia, Thailand, the Philippines, Okinawa, wherever the hell we went, there's some stories, dude. Those are some fucked up, hilarious stories, but there are stories that we lived. And it's like you said, I don't want the stories to die. Like if they pass away, the stories go with them. And then our brothers and sisters who are serving now or who have served can read it and be like, damn, that was a good one. That was a good story. Like he had a crazy time in Thailand, or he had a crazy time in California, or wherever the hell he was stationed. And it's, and what you're doing is freaking awesome. Like you said, if we can save at least one person, then we're reaching our goal. So you say, if you come over to the Stone Vet and you just want to hang out and enjoy and listen to the nonsense that we talking about, it's like I told Shane, I was like, I ain't as funny as you, but I'm coming from a whole different angle. And we're just sitting around bullshitting around the campfire. You know what I'm saying? We sit around bullshitting, enjoying our time together that we have, because regardless of where you're at, we're here for each other. No matter what time. It's like I tell people, I say, if I don't answer my phone at 3 a.m, as soon as I wake up and I see the missed call or I see the number, I'm calling you back as soon as I get up, And yeah, we need to be able to find time. I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Just like, we have lives. We all have our own lives. We all have shit going on. We got kids, we got wives, we got spouses or whatever. And we are busy. We're busy, you know what I'm saying? We got our own things that we're doing. But we have to take time out of the day and reach out to your brother, your sister, to the left or to the right, and say, hey, dude, how you doing, man? I knew you were struggling last week. How's everything been going? Is everything going good? How's everything going? And just give me a minute. I just want to talk to you for a minute. I'm just checking in on you. That's it, And it's hard, dude. Don't get me wrong. It's super hard. Gunny, we all have our own lives. We all have our own things going on. And we have to make an effort to reach out to our brothers and sisters and say, hey, how you doing, man? I just want to check in on you. Check and see and make sure you're doing okay. A lot of times they'll lie and be like, oh, I'm good. And you can't do nothing. If they lie to you, you just can't do anything. But you have to take it with face value, And like you said,
that's it.
Like you said you've already lost 5 of your brothers, and it sucks.
Yeah. It definitely does. And I heard on one of your previous podcasts, you said something about, you run into people who didn't have camaraderie or have any fun. How do you live? How do you go through 4 or 6 years of service and not have any camaraderie or fun? Like, listen, if you lived through that long in the service, you were the problem, right? We have fun.
Absolutely.
We enjoyed being around it. Over 17 years plus, did I have bad times while I was in the Corps? Yeah, fuck yeah, everybody did.
Everybody.
Do I remember them? No, because while we were, in a fucking sitting in the rain and the cold in fucking mop gear, we were fucking making fun of each other. We were, and then when you got done with that field out, man, we were drinking beer and just laughing about the stupid shit, because even in the rain and the cold, somebody's going to fall on their ass and they're going to be covered in fucking mud. And now you're laughing at it.
Right.
So yeah, there were bad times, but man, I would really have to, I would struggle to try and remember like a specific bad time.
No,
obviously, you have those times where, friends that get killed or, whatever, but just thinking the totality of your time in, man, if you didn't have any fun, you did something wrong.
Something wrong, right? And it sucks because I have, like I said, like you said, a couple more of my episodes, I've had people say, I didn't have any camaraderie. What do you mean you didn't have any camaraderie? I said, even my troops that I'd go and hang out with, they'd get pissed off at me. They'd be pissed at me. Oh, Sergeant G fucking riding me or whatever the hell it may be. And it's like, but it's like you said, dude, I think the Marines, we're so tight because of where we come from. We all come from different walks of life. Like, I've met Marines who've had their parents gave them everything and they still wanted to be a Marine, And then you got people like that didn't have shit and had to get out of where they're at to try to make a difference in their life, because if not, they're going to get sucked in to their society and they didn't want to be a part of it. Or hell, you got the guys that said, hey, you either go to jail or you join the Corps. You know that story, you know? And that's what my wife, because my wife, she didn't grow up with both parents. She was less fortunate. She like, her parents left her, and when she was with her parents, they didn't treat her good. Like she was poverty. She like, half the time I didn't have food. I had to figure out how I'm going to eat, or she didn't have electricity or shit, stuff like that. Like she was very poor. And she's like, that's what I love about the Corps, is that I can relate with these guys, because a lot of you guys were all broken. She said, all you Marines are.
We would like to give a huge thanks to Rafa 180. Rafa 180 offers pure medicinal CBD and products made locally. They walk alongside individuals to achieve a healthy lifestyle with options needed by each person. You can learn more about them on Facebook at Rafa CBD, their website www.rafa180.com, or email at rafacbd@gmail.com. They truly believe your journey matters.
Fucking broken in some way, some form or another. You guys are broken, and you guys build your camaraderie together, because in boot camp, that's what they tell us. You better make sure you take care of this motherfucker to your left and to your right. He's the one that's got your ass when shit starts popping off, you know? And I think that's how we build our camaraderie and our brotherhood, is that we were always with each other every damn day. We were with each other. And then if you went on deployment, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you were with that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's it. Listen, I had times where, I had to really, evaluate my life and the things that I've done. And you look and you say, God, am I really this fucked up?
Right.
Like, I've got some screws loose. And then you get around to other Marines and you're like, no, dude, you're just as fucked up as I am. So we're all the same.
We're all the same, right? No, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I mean. That's the thing. And that's why I think it's hard. I mean, some Army guys I can relate with, with some of the Army guys, depending, what they did and stuff like that. But I mean, it's really hard with every other branch to sit around and bullshit with them. I got a brother out here. He works out here. He's the ATO for the base. And I can relate. Me and him get along perfect. He's prior service Army. Like me and him, when we talk, like we are on the same sheet. We are understanding each other, But you do get some guys, you're just like, I don't know how to talk to you, dude. Like I can't relate to you, but you know what I'm saying? I bring on another jarhead like yourself, and we know, just like my wife said, she's like, you motherfuckers are cut from the same cloth. So what Ryan said a couple weeks ago, you guys are cut from the same fucking cloth, and you guys can relate. And for my wife, I mean, like I said, I've been with her for 21 years, and so now we have issues in our marriage. Trust issues, emotional issues. Come on, Gunny, you're on your third one. You understand.
I have no idea. No idea.
And so, I mean, it does suck, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I mean, we have our struggles with our marriages and everything else. There's issues that we have to deal with, but that's something that we have to learn how to like civilianize ourselves. How do you, my wife's like, you need to make friends. I say, how the fuck do you do that? Like, how do you go and make friends? Like, I don't understand that. Well, she makes friends real easy. You know what I'm saying? She makes them real easy. She talks to everybody. Everybody talks to her. I go somewhere and people look at me and say, why are you pissed off? I said, I'm not pissed. Ain't nothing wrong with me. You look so pissed off at the world. I said, it's my face. I'm just ready to take on whatever comes at me. You know what I'm saying? And so,
I'm that guy that just, I'll talk to anybody, it doesn't matter. Like, grocery store. And my wife's usually the one that says, why are you talking to them? I don't know, because they smiled and they said, hi.
Right.
Hi back.
No, and I usually talk to people. I'm good. I mean, ever since I started this show, I get out there and I'm able to talk to people better now. I'm able to get out of my shell and talk to a lot of people. My son, he's dating this little girl here. He's 16, so he's like, I get to date. I was like, it's not what it's all cracked up to be, dude. Like it's really not. Like I'm telling him, it's not what it's cracked up to be. So I tried. Her dad came over, and he's a pastor. He's an assistant pastor at his church. And he came over and I tried talking to him, like breaking the ice. Like, I know it sucks that my son likes your daughter. I've got 3 girls inside. It's gonna suck when guys start coming over trying to talk to my daughters. I get it, dude. I understand. But here, let me talk to you. This guy, like, he did everything he could to just not open a conversation and not have a conversation. And I was like, dude, I will break your fucking neck, dude. Like, Like it's plain and simple, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's plain and simple. I will break your neck, dude. But I was like, it's not hard to talk to people. Like it's fair. It's easy to talk to people. I mean, especially after you're running a podcast. I've been doing this since September, so I've been getting in there and getting better. And I get a lot of great guests on my show. And you got to be able to talk to them, keep conversation going. If not, then your show's gonna die. Right? The show's gonna die.
Right,
If we're both not talking, your show's gonna die. You know, but like you said, you're able to go out and you just talk to people, right? But I was like, I keep my circle tight. I don't bring a lot of people in. Like I'll talk to you and reach out to you, but I'm not bringing you in. Like this is where we're at. We're not going to be buddies or whatever, you know. But when I bring on jawheads like yourself, I was like, hey, now you're part of the family, dude. We got that damn EGA. We got that damn EGA burned into our freaking hearts. Like we all have it, you know. And so that's how we are, you know. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's some jawheads out there. I'm like, I don't even want to talk to you, dude. Like I don't even like you. You know, but you're my brother, and I'll take care of you if you need anything. Don't come eat at my table, but I'll take care of you. If whatever you need, I'll try to help you in any way I can. But don't come to my table because you're not gonna eat from here, you know, type thing. But it is, you know, and this is why I do the show though. It's just so we can hang out, we can bullshit. Sometimes the weeks get hard, dude. There's hard weeks out there. Like it's life. Life is hard. It's not easy, you know. If you're not bringing in enough money, or if you know your wife is leaving, your wife's cheating on you, your spouse is cheating on you, or you know, and it's something to where you can hang out and just come hang out with us, enjoy your time. You know, that's what I always try to tell people. I said, subscribe, always hit that subscribe button, dude, so you know when I got a new show coming out. If you can't make it to the YouTube channel, I'm on every other audio platform that's out there. Apparently there's a new one out there that I got to try to get on. I don't know how to get on it, but I got to get on it. But I mean, wherever you get your audio from, wherever you listen to podcasts at, I'm there. You know, I've been launching it. Like I said, Shane, him and Travis, they all made me launch my pod. I was going to do it this summer. I was going to put it on audio platform this summer because a lot of people don't have an opportunity to get on YouTube to be able to watch the shows, you know?
Yeah.
And they started this veteran podcast awards, and I was like, I got to get over on audio now.
You got sucked in.
Yeah, I got sucked in on it. And I was like, I'm glad you guys are my brothers, because I wouldn't let nobody else talk shit like this to me, to make me have to do this kind of stuff, you know? Because it does. Yeah. But I'm glad now, because now I'm getting out to more people, and actually, you know, I'm gotten people out in France that are listening to the show, and I'm like, oh wow, you know. Nice. So I told my son, I walked over to my son, I said, I'm internationally known on the microphone. He said, shut up, Dad.
Yeah, listen. So I had a couple friend requests. One was from the Philippines. He's a Philippine Marine, and then I got one who's a Marine in Sweden. And I was like, how the fuck did you find me? You know, like I don't know anybody. And it was just, you know, you look at, you know, friends of friends of friends of friends. And, you know, when somebody shares, you know, like one of my stories, and somebody reads it, and then they share it with a friend, and then they share it with another. Hey, you're a Marine. You'll probably like this story. And then they send me a friend request. And I'm like, I don't know you, but yeah, sure, dude.
Why not? Dude, you're another jarhead too. You're another jarhead too. You know, you're another jarhead too. Come over. We can enjoy the chaos together. I mean, that's what we were bred for, is to enjoy the chaos together. I mean, like you said, we all have stories, and we all remember the most fucked up situations we've ever been put in. You know, we remember it. We're like, look at that dumbass when you run into the bunker in MOP level 4, and you're like, look at this dumbass. You know, forgot his fucking boot. Half his shit is spread out across the fucking camp. He's got to pick that shit up. You know, but
absolutely.
You know, and you're looking like a bag of shit because you're like, I couldn't even get this fucking thing on, dude. You know, you're like, how many times have you practiced putting this damn thing on? You still can't put it on yet, you know? And so, I mean, hell, one night, I think I ran to the bunker, MOP level 4, like 21 times in one night. And I was like, I'm just going to sleep in this motherfucker, dude. Like, these motherfuckers won't stop, you know?
Yeah. So we had, right before I deployed, I was with Sierra 510. And 2MEF had us go through this workup, like a little bit of training prior to going to Iraq, right? And we sit in there, and they want us to go over all these TDPs, and you know, the two biggest things that I took out from the training was trash. You know, you're supposed to look for piles of trash along the MSRs, right? And potholes. Okay, no problem. We got it. Now I get to Iraq, and we're in Al Assad, and I've got my fires team, and it's made up of augments, individual augments. And a couple of them, one of them was like air wing. I think the other one was like maintenance or something. So these weren't like your O3 guys. So
Right.
I was running them through drills. We went through everything. Now I'm, so like hyper vigilant getting into the front seat of this Humvee on our first convoy because I didn't really know what to expect. I've got my map, I've got my compass, I've got fucking radios, I've got, I'm like ready to go. If something happens, I'm gonna be, right. We pull outside and we maybe go fucking 50 feet, right? And there's a pile of trash. And I'm like, dude, like holy crap, like wait a minute, there's fucking trash everywhere. What the fuck are they talking about? And then all of a sudden we hit this fucking pothole. Motherfucker, what are you doing? Watch the road, right? Sorry, no problem. Like, oh my God. So, you start to catch your breath a little bit and you're coming back down, you're driving back down the road. And then all of a sudden you're looking out and you see this guy who's just taking a shit in the middle of the field. Some Iraqi dude just shitting in the middle of the field. And we're all staring at it. And then bam, we hit another fucking pothole. And we just started laughing. Like, it was like, dude, like, okay, well, at least we knocked the rust off. But, you just have no idea what to expect sometimes. And you just have to roll with the punches. And,
no, absolutely.
That definitely got us through,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely being out there. Yeah, because I was out there back in 03 and then again in 05. And I mean, it's like you said, they said, what's it like? I said, is desert as far as the eye can see. Like where I was at, 'cause I was at a FOB. So I was right there on the Kuwaiti-Iraqi border back in 03. We were doing, our mission was just a bodies out, supplies in type thing. That's what we were doing. And it was like it's sand as far as the eye can see. And so you can look across the border, you can see the oil rigs burning when they first started burning back in 03. And I was like, but besides that, I said, it's just hot as hell. It's like the hottest place on earth. I swear to God. It's the hottest place on earth.
I think I lost like 20 pounds while I was there. Just walking around it, doing all that shit, and came back. I think I came home and I was like maybe about 160 pounds. I'm usually right around 180. Man, I came back and it was like I felt so different.
No shit. Yeah, no, for real. Because for me, when I was back out there in 03, we didn't have chow halls. They gave us MREs, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I was like, I can eat one of these and I'll be good all day. Like I'm not gonna be able to eat all these fucking MREs you keep pounding down my fucking throat. Like, and I was like, so I'd eat like one a day. And like you, 20, 30 pounds I was down. I came back. I was probably like $120, $130 when I came back.
Yeah.
And black as hell. My eye was so damn dark, dude. I was like, this is fucking well, it's like you look like a fucking Ethiopian kid. I was like, I just wish I had the belly I wish I had the belly like one. Because I didn't eat shit over there. I was so damn skinny and just so freaking, I was so frail when I came back. I was like, that sucked. Because I can tell people, I said, it's hell on earth, And they're like, well, how high is it? I said, well, by 8 a.m., it's fucking 120 degrees by 8 a.m.
Yeah.
I was like, you never
and did it snow while you were out there?
No, it didn't snow when I was out there.
Yeah. So while we were in Fallujah, it snowed a little bit. It was probably like December, January, but it didn't accumulate on the ground, but it was definitely coming down, which is weird. Like, that's what we thought. What the fuck? God, a month ago, it was 120 degrees. Now it's snowing.
No shit. Right. Like, and it's a whole different, everybody's like, let's just dry heat. I said, it's fucking heat. I don't care if it's dry or wet. It's fucking heat. It's hot. Yeah. It's hot as hell, especially when you're wearing all your shit, when you got your whole fucking gear on, your flak jacket and all your rounds and all that other shit. I said, it's hot. Like it was hot as hell. Like I can't do this shit, And a lot of people, but it's like you said, those are the places that we make our memories, that we tell our stories, that we made those crazy ass memories, and that's the things that we reminisce about. We come around, we sit around, we bullshit, and we talk about the stupid shit that we did when we were there, which is great, which is great. And like what you're doing with Born in a Bar, man, that's great. You're compiling all these stories together. And like you said, people are gonna read it and they're gonna relate and be like, I remember that place. Yeah, I remember that girl. You know what I'm saying? I remember
that's it, and just from you meet people all the time that you might not have been in the same place at the same time, but you remember different things. And one of the stories I got in from another gunny was about a porta potty, and I have my own story about a porta potty. So I was reading his, and I absolutely knew exactly what he was talking about when he said about the porta potty. And I always tell people, going to the bathroom in a porta potty, listen, this is like the worst place on earth that you will ever go to the bathroom. It's 120 degrees outside. It's 200 degrees inside, and it smells like shit. You're not spending more than, if you're taking a piss, it's like 45 seconds. You're taking a shit, it's under 2 minutes.
Right.
If you're in the porta potty for more than 2 minutes, you're jerking off. Well, I mean, let's face it. You're not spending that. And we had our own little code like, hey, look, if something happens and I die in this porta potty, you make sure you hide the porn, pull up my pants, and come up with a good story to tell my parents that I was not killed in a porta potty. That's it.
No, because you can relate, because you talking about it and I can smell it. And I was like,
yep, absolutely.
And all the drawings on all the fucking walls, you're just like, motherfucker, dude. Like, you can feel the heat and you're just like, that's so gross. Because I said, you can find some of the best art in a porta potty, dude. Like, you're like, what the fuck is that? Like,
Yeah.
You just see it, you just read it, and you see it, and that's the stories. That's the stories you're telling people. You're reminiscing about it, letting people remember about it, especially if you're getting people Vietnam era, World War II era people, that are coming in. You can grab those stories, like you said, because you don't want the stories to die. There's no reason why the story should die, and
that's it. And any time period. I mean, Marines are Marines. Our stories are the same. We might use a little bit of different language, but I mean, what we find funny, most people don't find funny.
They don't.
We talk about things, that most people don't talk about, and to hear them be put into a story, just have one whole book full of, just the fucked up, funny, hilarious shit that we do.
Right.
It's going to be a good book, and I'm really looking forward to when it comes out, and sharing, not only my stories, but other people's stories. And hopefully, this will go into a second book and a third book, and, go from there.
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. I mean, hell, as many jarheads as there are, you can get a lot of stories about a lot of different places, a lot of areas that people have been to, which is great. Yeah. And so that's what makes it. That's what's going to make the book so awesome, dude. With the nonsense and the jargon, especially when it's Marine Corps jargon, and you don't get a bunch of jarheads be like, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, you know how they see that picture that goes over on Facebook was like one kid, a guy's like, well, I can smell this picture. And it's the fucking gas chamber. It's like, oh yeah, I can smell that picture. My wife's like, you can't smell that. So, oh, I smell that. Oh, my nose is starting to run. My nose is starting to run. I can smell that picture. And a lot of people are like, what? I don't get you. I don't understand. No, you're not going to understand me. I've been through some shit. I've done some shit. And I've been through some shit that you're not going to understand. You're not going to be able to rate. Only other fucking jarheads are going to be able to relate to me, understand where I'm coming from,
My wife started getting interested in, she would see me writing and, talking on the phone, and she wanted to know what this was all about. And she wanted to read one of them. And I was really hesitant. This is not a good idea. Like, I don't know if this is, appropriate. And she said, I've heard most of these stories. So I let her read one that was my best friend Ski and I. And she knows the whole story. She doesn't know all the details, but she knew, most of the story. And I let her read it. And when I'm writing, from my memories, I'm just typing just the way that it would come out at a bar. And then I'll go back and I'll read it and I'll be like, I'll change this. Well, one of the things I put on there was one of the girls that was in Hooters, Jacksonville. She had very nice tits. They were fake as hell. They were very nice. And I had that in the story. And of course, my wife, that's the first thing she sticks out. She's like, oh yeah, this is great. This is what you're going to be writing about. And I was just like, oh. I'm like, listen, you're not going to understand this book. This book is not for you. Like, well, what are you going to say to your kids when they want to read it? I'm not going to let my kids read this book. If they want to read it later, whatever. What about your parents? Like my parents know that I'm writing a book. Her parents know that I'm writing a book. And I just simply tell them, like, look, this is a Marine Corps book. You're not going to understand it. Like,
right.
you just won't. This book is for, is Marines. It's written, by Marines, for Marines, military, cops, firefighters, anybody who really has that brotherhood. You're going to get, the humor and the stupid shit that we do to each other. That's who really this book is for. It's not for, my wife, your wife, my pastor. My pastor's probably not going to read this.
Right.
So.
It's
Yeah.
great. No, like I said, man, the stories are great. I know they're going to be amazing. Is there anything like the little things I've read from that you put out there on Facebook and stuff? It's going to be a freaking awesome freaking book, dude. It's like you said, dude, it's about the brotherhood. It's the camaraderie. This is what we do. This is what it's about. It's about finding ourselves again, finding our purpose again after 7,
Yeah.
Gunny ain't telling SRNG, hey, this is what we're doing. This is the mission. This is what we got to do. This is what we got to be and all this stuff. I'm not, you don't have us telling you what to do anymore. And it's like, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to find me, who I am again? How am I supposed to find what I'm into? Write a book. Gunny's writing a book.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the same shit he's writing about.
Yeah. Look, I'm 45. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of my life.
No shit. Absolutely. That's what I tell people.
I'm hoping to win the lottery and move south. That's my plan.
You live out east. You have higher chances of winning the lottery than anybody else. It's always out east that always wins the lottery for whatever damn reason. I don't know how much money y'all putting into it, but it's always out east somewhere. Somewhere out east is always winning the damn lottery. I think it's up to like half a billion again, ain't it right now? Or something.
Yeah, I think it's like 400 million or something right now.
Something insane. I don't even know. It's like all I gotta do is just buy one number and hope that it's the right number. You know what I'm saying? maybe one day. That's what I said. It'd be great. It'd be freaking. I mean, imagine the guy who won the $1 billion. I was like, fuck, you ain't never got to work another day in your life. You can sit on.
Listen, if I win 400 million, this second book is going to be completely different. It's not going to be, it'll be all the stupid shit I'm doing now as a 45-year-old with $300 million.
Right.
This is me on my island. I'll rename it Paris Island, and it won't have sand fleas though. I mean, you don't know what that's like, but
no,
we'll have a big, a flag on the middle of it. And the only people that can come to my island are family and Marines.
Right. Absolutely.
Everybody else, you're shit out of luck.
Absolutely. You're out of your shit. That's what I told my wife. I was like, if I ever won some of this shit, I would buy 100 acres. And then I would put a brick wall around this 100 acres, put a fucking 20-foot brick wall, concertina wire at the top, and cameras on every corner. I don't give a damn. PTZ cameras so I can see everything that's going around. And I said, what's that going to cost me? $1 million? Bitch, I got 400 million. You think $1 million?
Right, what the hell do you do with the other $399 million?
Yeah, that's what I was like. What do you do with the other $399 million? I could build me $1 million home. $398 million left to spend. I was like, I could have anything and everything. I could put a flat line in the middle of my fucking land. And I think she was saying if you own 150 acres, you can make your own town. I was like, well, fuck it. I'll buy 150 acres, make it my own fucking town then. You know what I'm saying?
I'd never have to leave again.
Never. I'd have everything delivered. You come to the gate, you push the button, and I'll have somebody come out there and beat you at the gate and pick it up from you. It's plain and simple, dude. Like I was like, what do you have to worry about? But I was like, that's the dream. That's the goal, right? That's where it's supposed to be,
It'll be the Sergeant G traveling road show, the RV 40-foot RV with the fold-out table and a microphone, and you could
right. I just travel across the country and meet everybody. That's I'm coming to your area. Who wants to talk? Let's go. We could do a live every fucking day. Wherever I'm traveling to, it'd be great. Because why? Because I can. Can't nobody tell me no. Which is great, man. Well, Gunny,
You're always welcome in New Jersey.
No, I don't want to go to New Jersey, dude. Ain't nothing in Jersey.
Ain't nothing. I'm here.
You're there, right? You're there. You're not far from Ton Tavern. The whole sign.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we are literally like 3 miles from that Ton Tavern. Every year on the birthday, we have Cookies, which is a tavern in Philadelphia. And we take over like 4 blocks. The police shut down 4 blocks of main road. And it is 1,000, Marines. And we just party until 2:00 in the morning. It's a fucking great time. So if anybody's listening and you want to do something on the Marine Corps birthday, come to Philadelphia, man. We'll show you where it's at.
That's definitely something I'm going to be interested in. I'm told my wife, I said we got to go out east and go explore some of the things out there. Because I mean, you guys still have a little bit of history out there. There's still a little bit of history out east versus everywhere else where they've torn everything down and put up all new shit. But yeah, like Ton Tavern. Everybody goes to Philly like I'm going to Ton Tavern. Every jarhead that goes to Philly is like I'm going to Ton Tavern. Even if it is a fucking sign, I don't give a damn. I'm going to Ton Tavern. Because it's history, dude. I think that's what makes us different from everybody else is the history that we have. We have history that has been embedded into our minds, and we can tell you everything, when it happened, why it happened, and everything. Nobody else studies history the way we study history. I mean, when you're standing in the chow line, you're rehearsing history that happened, and you're learning about all the amazing jarheads that were out there before us that gave us a reason to serve this wonderful country, in our beloved Corps, man. Gunny, it's been great, dude. We're coming close to the end of the show. You want to tell a little one of your stories? You want to let people hear one of your stories? How's it want to go? Just so they can be excited, so they can be like, "Ooh, what am I getting myself into?"
Well, let's see. Boy, I've shared so many of them on Facebook already that when somebody has something they come up with, and I'm just like, man, I've got a good fucking story to go along with that one. So I share it. One of I think my all-time favorite stories that I have, and this is after my second divorce, we used to go on motorcycle rides, and you meet people all the way. And one of the stops that I regularly had gone to, I ended up meeting a girl that I met in the staff academy. So at the in SOTG, the staff NCO academy would come through, and the instructors knew, like, this is single Gunny, and they're always going to hook me up and put, like the single cute girl around our train map. And she was like 5'2", maybe 100 pounds, Latino staff sergeant, just a very beautiful girl, just gorgeous. But she was very like prim, proper, and I was like, oh, this, I had fun flirting with her, but that's kind of it. I'm just gonna let it go. She's not going to be, the type. I have a Harley, she's not going to be that type that's going to go out on us. Right. So we're on a poker run, and she taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around and I'm like, oh shit, this is, staff sergeant so-and-so. And so we end up hitting it off. We're drinking, doing tequila shots, go back to her house, and we're making out. And, she asked me, have you ever done anything freaky? Right. Well, like, that's relative, like freaky to what? But I'm game, I'm like, whatever. I'm drinking. I'm game.
I'm drunk and sure. Why not?
So, she kind of pushes me back and she handcuffs me to the headboard. Oh, and then she gets up, right? She gets up, she turns off the light. And this is the last time that she actually speaks English. She speaks Spanish from then on, until the next morning. So the next morning, right, I'm still handcuffed to the bedpost, and she whispers something in my ear in Spanish, and I have no idea what it was. But she gets up and she walks out of the room, and I'm kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? And then I hear keys, and then I hear a door, and I'm like, man, like, did somebody else just come in the door? Like, what the fuck is going on? I hear the car start up. The car drives away. So now I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm tied to a bed.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is going on? Like, and this is where you really start to, think about some of the bad decisions that you've made in your life. Like, this might have been the worst. I don't think she's going to, take out my kidneys or anything, but I have no idea where I'm at. Like, I don't even know if this is her house. Like, I don't know.
I don't even know.
No idea.
Where the fuck am I at?
Yeah. So I can see my phone sitting on the end table, and I, try and kick it off, trying to, contort my body over to get it. And I knock it on the floor. And then I was kind of laughing to myself because it's a flip phone. And this is like, 2008. I've got a flip phone. Who the fuck am I going to call right now? Am I going to call 911? Yes, officer, I am tied to a bed. I don't know where I'm at. Help me.
Help me.
Right? Who am I going to call? Even if one of my friends, hey, come get me, So she comes back in, and she had gone down the street and gotten Burger King. And she's automatically like, she just switched back on, and she's talking English again. And I'm like completely freaked the fuck out right now. Like, what just happened? Like, this is not, this is not the same girl that I had met 12 hours ago, or in the staff academy. And she, and I started, really wondering, like, is this girl like bipolar? Like, was she a twin? And like, they like did some kind of high five.
Shit.
I had like no fucking clue. Like this girl, and I remember leaving. I'm riding my motorcycle home, and I was just like, God, like, I really need to, make better choices. Like, this could have ended badly. Like, this girl's a fucking whack job. So I only dated her for about a month after that, and then she EAS'd. So, but so it was a good time.
Damn, I got some crazy ass stories, Gunny. It's gonna be a great book. I'm super excited to hear it, dude. It's gonna be one that I buy. Hopefully, you got it out on Audible. Hopefully, you get it out there on Audible so people can read it while they're at work. So they're like, "What are you reading? Don't worry about it. You won't understand. You won't understand this crazy nonsense that I'm talking about, man." Gunny, I appreciate you coming out, hanging out with me on this Friday. Reminiscing, dude. This was about brotherhood, right? It's our brotherhood that we always gonna have. We brothers for life. Nobody can take that away from us. You know what I'm saying? And it's the camaraderie, and it's the camaraderie we lost. When we got out, we lost the camaraderie, and it sucked. But now with the show, I'm able to bring you guys along, and everybody that's listening. This is what it's about: is hanging out and enjoying each other's time and company. This is what we do. We lost the camaraderie when we got out, but I'm bringing it back to you guys, so you guys don't feel alone. You're never alone. We're always here for you. Like I said, with Gunny, all Gunny's information, all his contact information, how you can reach out to him. Hell, maybe you can even tell him a couple of your stories and get into his book.
Absolutely, please do.
You know what I'm saying? All his contact information will be down there in the description box down below. If you guys listening to it on the audio, I'll have it all in the description box. You can contact him, man. Like I said, man, go check out Born in a Bar, The Untold Stories of Uncle Sam's Misguided Children. It's going to be a great book when it comes out, man. Remember, guys, I want to thank our sponsor, Rafa 180, for sponsoring the show, allowing me to be able to do this, able to come out to you guys and check out you guys, man. Go check out all the great products they have over there. They have all natural, organic products over there that's great for the women, for the wives, the girlfriends. Hell, I think they got some men's products on there as well. You can go check them out, dude. When you go to checkout, type in the Stone Vet USMC, get you 15% off your entire purchase. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you're on iTunes, give me a 5-star review, man. Help me out in the algorithms. Let's get more of our brothers and sisters coming in and listening to the shows so they can find their purpose again as well, man. Gunny, I appreciate it. Appreciate you hanging out with me on this Friday, man.
You got it, brother, anytime.
Absolutely. Remember, guys, here at the Stone Vet, we got your six.
Still, when your life going down, grab a pound, smoke, chill, relax. It's Friday. You ain't got a job, we gon' get high today. Darker the flesh, the deeper the root.